We are a beautiful people, made to live beyond the boxes we are buried in all our brown shades, in all our dialects and slurs. Only the night can know of our passage, blue, black, or gentle copper. I'm glad we're left out of your filthy books. Your language couldn't begin to tell of us, porque su lengua no lleva la vida de ninguna cosa que conozco. And you want me to censor my language, Carlos? What's genocide? You wonder why children hide in adult bodies, lie under light-color-eyed contact lenses, learn to fetishize the size of their ass, and simultaneously hate their lips. My students thought Che Guevara was a rapper from East Harlem, still think my Mumia t-shirt is of Bob Marley. How can literacy not include Phyllis Wheatley? Schools were built in the shadows of ghosts, filtered through incest and grinding teeth, molded under veils of extravagant ritual. Carlos, was genocide? Rosaline, how old was she? ¿Cuántos años tuvo tu madre cuando se murió?
I was in a bank and I was locked up for who knows how long, tied up in a room. I saw you see me.
You saw me see you. Is that what you just said?
I was locked up in the room. You saw me gagged when you came in.
They caught Frazier and his partner are walking into the bank.
Steve.
It's time for Steve-O.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present Carlos Andrés Gómez and special surprise guest, Savion Glover.
Black, brown, indigenous, mestizo, Latino, the only consistency we know is absence. Whether of justice or of food or of opportunity, we live obese on the fatness of grief. So we learn to improvise. Move our hips and hands, tongue clicks and intonations like the sky is watching. Stars blinking at the beauty, our bodies simulating heartbeats, flash bulbs glimpsing scars out of pitch. And our ancestors taught us well, engraved our souls with rhythm and fire and pause. And they were called slaves when the sun rose, but those nights belonged to them. Belong to their dreams. Tawny morning twilight as they danced the cumbia on the north coast. Calves cradled in saltwater graves because the dark sky chanted freedom, and they could die there knowing they had been alive, calling back. Dance, Savion, dance! Savion, dance, boy! Do that tap dance for me! They shouted at him. In gin-tinted ridicule, their pale faces rose red with honesty, intoxicating epithets from their mouths, as if hollow banter could be an appraisal of his worth, breaking his bones down to dust. But he'd broken through walls as thick as silence, and cracked sulphurous spells of pipe hits and bleeding chapped lips, and when his dreadlocks sang, they sang in saltwater riffs, baptizing his body with sweat, the tears he swallowed, shot out heel clicks like sparks that pinched eyelids. You could almost hear John Coltrane's knees buckle, bending down from the sky to listen as the echoes of his tenor blasted out of recordings toward a spotlight on a stage where a black man's feet made southern white men's eyes tear with shame, and Coltrane would say, dance, Savion, dance, dance, do that tap dance for me. For us. And when they don't allow us to learn how to read, and to used to forget our languages, mispronouncing our names, and lock up our fathers when they learned to sing, dragging toxins through our mother's spine, stole all of our possessions and kidnapped our families, we're forced to build like this from our hips, cradle the innateness of birth, the source of our bodies, ball up our eyes like fists and fling tears wildly at the stars, dancing like our lives depend on it. You can violate women's hips, but you cannot break them. And even if you're told you're stupid, you can dance, weaving tidal waves out of soft rain. Our people were never stolen. We were never your slaves. Write it on our graves. Black, brown, indigenous, mestizo, Latino, carved in your textbooks. We were never your slaves, just reluctant martyrs, never slaves. And we never lost our rhythm, surviving. So don't you dare try to copy this mambo, this capoeira, this baranati, this salsa, this windmill, this cueto, this pop and lock, this fire. We were made to dance like apostles till miracles fall back to earth, and you can take everything else, because this is how you get to heaven. This is how you get to heaven. This is how you get to heaven. And we are the ones that birthed it. We are the ones that birthed it. We are the ones that birthed it, and we nicknamed it God.